So for today's conversation, I went ahead and I titled it Doubt. Is Jussie lying or nah? Questions that need answers because we're just not sure. Um, so hopefully we'll have a few people joining us in a second, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. Jussie
Go.
Smollett, all his drama.
Backstory, go.
Backstory. Okay. I'll go ahead and start this. So a few weeks ago, we were all in a state of, I want to say panic, but panic's not really the right word. We were all,
Alarm.
what was that?
I said we're up in arms and in alarm.
Up in arms, in alarm, hurt.
Yes.
It was kind of traumatic, honestly, because I did go through
saddening.
Yeah. Just feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. Shock. That's the perfect word to explain it. We were all in a state of shock. As a community, I would say, when we heard that Jussie Smollett was attacked in Chicago outside of a Subway or after trying to get a salad from a Subway at 2 a.m. in the morning. And he was beat up and he had a noose tied around his neck, is what we've heard. And he was beat up by white people wearing a MAGA hat.
Mm-hmm.
It was all very specific, as I'm sure it would be. However, in the few weeks since then, since the cops have been doing a lot of investigations, more and more information has come. So it's looking like it's possible that he could have lied, but then now it's starting to look like it's possible that maybe he didn't lie, and we're all just, I'd say at this point, most people are ready to trade in Jussie, like through the racial draft. Hi, viewer. Feel free to comment on how you feel about the whole Jussie Smollett stuff. But I have seen that people are ready to trade in Jussie Smollett for, I think it's Gary Owen, the white comedian married to a black woman.
Interesting. So, okay, before I start speaking, I had 4 wisdom teeth removed. So if I look a little puffy in the face, pardon me. I'm trying not to be super self-conscious about it. Okay. So now about Jussie, I have to say, so I remember right when it happened, I don't like to comment immediately, not because I'm like better or anything than anyone else. I don't like to comment immediately on celebrity news because kind of I don't care typically. And things are just, I don't know the full story because I wasn't there, Mm-hmm. So I do remember when it was out on Twitter, and recently I haven't been on social media like that, but when I was, I remember the very next day, Erykah Badu was like, be careful about making snap judgments. You don't know the whole story. And everybody was ready to get rid of Mama Erykah. They were like, I'm so disappointed in you. I can't believe you. Because she's made comments about Bill Cosby. She's made comments about R. Kelly. That did actually, the R. Kelly comments that she made were misconstrued severely. But it is what it is. I personally love Erykah Badu.
I was just going to say, can you tell that she's a fan? No. Erykah is the mother of our people.
I love Erykah. Like, I really do. And of course, I'm not saying that, and she might say some ridiculous things, and who doesn't? Like, we all have crazy opinions. But she said that, and I thought it was really strange. But she also backtracked when she said it, that she wasn't crossing her comments with his situation, because she was basically saying that people didn't have the whole story about her. Not, this is about Jussie, but it's just funny how she said it, and then the story changed, where it's 2 apparently Nigerian dudes that brothers, I don't even know. They attacked him and he paid them, and now I'm hearing something different about that, and I just don't know what to believe.
Well, what happened is he wrote them a check for $3,500. Just don't kill me. We're hearing an echo. I don't know. Okay. He wrote them a check for $3,500. At the time, it sounded like he wrote them that check specifically to have them attack him and plan this whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. However, now what's coming out is it looks like that check was specifically for training. because he's preparing for a video. He's trying to lose 20 pounds in a certain amount of time. So when you look back at their text, according to news sources, it does look like they've been texting about his meal plan and his exercise regimen. And it was stated that this money is specifically for training. So it does seem like a lot of back and forth going around. And I hate to say I question this, but there has been a lot of like just reports of racism in the Chicago police force. So much so that when Barack Obama was, I believe he was like the state senator there, he did have rules in place where they had to start tracking metrics for the number of people of color that they arrested versus whites that they arrested, because it was such a huge disparity.
The state of Illinois is red, though. Have you seen, like, Chicago's that little blue section, and then everything else around it is red? So I know in the North you have, like, underhanded racism. I like the South because they're really blatant about it, and it's just clear as day. You don't go over there, you don't talk to that person, or that person is just in your face like, I don't like you because you're black.
Right. And let us know your experiences too, viewers, about racism in the North versus the South, what you think about Jussie, etc.
So I'd like to come from a different angle, just because I think in my head, and I think in a lot of people's heads, when you feel like you know people because you see them on TV and you just think you know how they are. So I had this, and obviously it's preconceived notion that he's what he called himself. He's a, what was the word he used?
The Black Tupac?
No.
So
basically, he's an advocate, is what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm an advocate. And so that's what I saw him as. Because if you look at his Instagram posts and just a lot of the things he does on social media, it's very involved in those type of things. So in my mind, it was like, when this happened, oh, I feel really bad for him. But then there was also the other side where in the back of my head, it's like, okay. And one of my friends said this to me, don't people usually have bodyguards? Like, how could that happen to him, so randomly? I imagine, though, that celebrities do try to get out on their own, just to be free, but it was kind of weird. So then there's this back and forth now where it's like, okay, it looks like someone did something to him, and then it's like, oh, the tables are turning. All of this random information keeps coming out, and then it looks like he did something terrible. And so in my head, I don't know what to believe. It's like, I really don't want to believe that he would do something like that, especially as an advocate. Right. And then, this is terrible, but I'm like, what's going to happen to Empire? Are they going to kick him off?
Do y'all still watch it?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't, but it's just a thought. Because that's his thing. That's what he's been doing. And then he has all of his family supporting him. So it's just like, the other side, I'm empathetic to it because it's like, okay, what reason did he have to go around and start a rumor, or stage his own, thing, and then drag his family into it, and now he has to, I guess, kind of defend himself or deal with the consequences. And even that, what if it really was something that happened to him and he didn't stage it? Now everybody thinks, so now people have my mentality where it's like, ooh, why is Jussie doing this? It looks bad. And then memes are going around about him, which I feel so bad because some of them are funny, but it's just like, but this is what he's having to deal with. So what if, and we don't know which direction, but I'm just saying, what if he really didn't stage this and someone really attacked him? It's terrible to have to endure this as a victim. Well, but we don't know that he's not a victim. So I
have two questions. Okay, so just as you would ask, why would he stage it? Another thing is, why would somebody try to discredit his story if it was true that he was attacked? So I do know, like, the Chicago, and you just said earlier, Shireen, they were having problems with racism within the Chicago PD, but I just don't know, like, what would be someone's motive to be like, well, he's not telling the truth. Let's try to discredit his word. Let's try to put doubt into people's mind about who this person is. Because I know when everybody heard about the news, like, we were all heartbroken because, like, oh, sweet Jussie Smollet, who's just, you're a homosexual black man who's an advocate for this community, who's on this really hitting, like, wonderful show, even though I don't really watch it anymore. I think, he's got such a beautiful voice, a beautiful person. Why would somebody want to discredit him? Like, there's like the duality to that.
There's jealousy and hate. I mean, I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I guess it just depends on how you as a person feel when you're debating these things, because I feel like someone could think, okay, no one's really going to believe him if it's set up this way, because there's no reason for anyone to do this to him. And it could work out perfect. It's the perfect plan. It's the perfect setup. Mm-hmm. It's the O.J. Simpson of setups for things like this. but at the same time, also, why would he do it? And they did bring up the whole threatened message. And they also said that he could have possibly mailed that to himself. So I really don't know. I don't know.
And I think they confirmed that the brothers didn't mail that to him. I don't know how they confirmed that, but there's just a lot. So I want to throw out something. Go ahead, Isha. Then I'll do it.
Sorry. The next question was, they were saying something about him not being happy with his salary. Like, how would him faking the story? I guess it would make him a more marketable celebrity, maybe. And
I don't know, and I've been trying to figure that out too, because I don't see the correlation, honestly.
Most people just ask for a raise, so it's kind of extreme.
I saw someone else like other ways. So we're looking for Jess to come back to us. But as we do that, I did want to kind of pose a question to you guys, and I'll restate part of it when she gets back. But one thing that I had a discussion with someone about was, when this first happened, they were basically saying that they didn't necessarily believe it. This was before all of the drama started with the police force finding new information, etc. And they were saying that they had that conversation with another person who really criticized them because they felt like, how could you not believe this person, right? Mm-hmm. So in having that conversation with them, I do think that there's this undue pressure that we feel as a society to agree with someone just because they're part of a group that's marginalized. And how fair is that?
There is this pressure, but I think it's up to the individual to actually like bend with that pressure. Because I'm not that kind of person. Because I've seen it where you're on Twitter and there's groupthink and something happens. Some white person says something rude, or somebody does something that just goes against forward Black mobility, and that could be the group's thought on it, but you could have a completely different feeling towards what happened. So I think it has to do with the individual's stance on that. There are certain things that I wish our people would rally behind, like Black women and supporting of Black women. But it's just something that we don't do. And I'm not new to this. It's the game.
Yeah, but you know what? I do feel like we as a culture have expanded groupthink. And when I say that, I mean that like society does pressure you to feel a certain way about pretty much everything, to a point where you're just critiqued anytime your viewpoint is just a little bit different from what someone else thinks. Yeah. And you almost feel like you can't necessarily say how you actually feel about a thing, because you're just going to be criticized by everyone around you. And even being criticized, actually attacked by anyone that feels like you're going against where the world should technically be. So I say all that to say, now that all this has come out, we still don't know one way or another what's going on, but it does look like that person that critiqued the person that didn't believe him when it first came out has to kind of eat crow, because it shows you that we're just so quick to jump on the sensational thing happening and agree with it just because it's happening.
Every time I keep bringing up what Erykah Badu said, because she was like, don't believe everything you read. Like Daddy Matthew said it about Beyonce and Jay-Z, like the whole elevator situation. We don't know if that was real or not. I don't know why I brought Beyonce up, but I felt like it was relevant to this moment. I don't know. I hope we come to the truth eventually, and if not, this won't be the first time we won't get the full story, or we won't understand what actually happened.
Right. Is it crazy that I really hope that this actually happened to him, just because it's so sick. If it didn't happen, it's so sick to make up a story like that.
I was thinking the same thing, that I really hope it happened to him.
Yeah. It's a weird spot.
I don't know. Yeah, I hope it happened to him. I mean, it's a sad thing to hope for too. But
It's
I
better
hope
to the alternative.
of him making it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
All
my
right.
opinion, it means our world is bad. I'm sorry. It just means our world is bad, which we already know. But
our world is bad if what happened to him happened to him. Like, it doesn't change.
But black men are getting shot all the time at stops by cops. So I'm just saying, it's not, and I'm not saying that's a light thing, but I'm saying it's no different. It's not putting my world in a different perspective. It's kind of aligning with the things that are happening, versus him setting it up himself and staging a hate crime.
Yeah, it's sick. Especially being the double minority, being Black, being gay. Gay people are attacked for being gay all the time. Blacks are attacked for being Black all the time. How is that okay? How do you justify that in your head if it is something that he made up? Like,
I don't know. I hope it's a social experiment if it didn't actually happen. Something, and it'll be like one of those weird creative think pieces. Oh yeah, I did fake it for X, Y, and Z reason. I would really.
here's why I wasted resources from the Chicago PD.
Something. I don't know. It's just. I'm just looking forward to getting to the bottom of it. But this is one of those weird stories that I've never heard of before. Like, I don't think anything like this has happened in media that I can think of.
Not that I can remember.
So if you guys have heard of it, let us know. Something.
There was a Black woman that said, or there was a white woman that said that these Black men killed her kids. This happened when we were possibly before we were born, maybe when we were super young. But then they ended up finding out that
she did it.
She did it. And then there was something else. I was having this discussion where, someone just completely lied about everything that happened for the sympathy to justify something that happened that they didn't actually want to explain. Yeah. All right. So I think this is a good note for us to end.
I think so. Yeah. Lipstick and logic
Tell
talk.
us your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Are you buying into the whole Jussie thing? Do you think he's lying? Do you think he's telling the truth? Are you holding out that he's telling the truth? Let us know.
Let us know, people.
Yeah.
So now it's time for my favorite part of the show. We talked about the logic, and now we're going to tell you about our lipstick.
Can we talk about our foundation too, if we're wearing it?
Okay.
Okay.
I put some Bare Minerals on, 8.5 caramel, because my makeup bag was in my car and I wasn't going out to the cold. And then I did a whole lot of contouring with this NYX color corrector dark shade. I just was, in that little. Anyways, that's what I did today.
I actually don't have foundation on today, but normally I wear Fenty 300. So yeah, I just have blush on, mascara, and of course lipstick.
Your skin looks great though.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm trying that Korean skincare. I'm just...
Pretty.
What foundation are you wearing, Shreen?
We're doing this first. Okay. The foundation that I'm wearing is Fenty 440. All I have on is foundation, I think. Oh, I think I did like some slight contouring with the matchsticks.
Oh yeah. Fenty's not working on my skin right now because it's so dry and cold. It's just not.
Pro tip, I learned this and it's like the best thing I learned. Drop just a drop of oil in your foundation. I wear liquid foundation, so that works for me, and it makes a world of a difference when it's dry outside. Try it.
Okay, once I find the correct shade, I'll do that. So yeah, I also don't have any. But anyways, on the lipstick, I mixed 3 of mine up. I'm wearing NYX Prague Birthday Suit by Tarte. And this is like the most wonderful thing ever. Thank you, Fenty, for this. Thank you, Robin Fenty. It's fussy. I don't know. I'm not gonna read it. Anyways, it's fussy. And it's just the most beautiful pink ever. It's just like, it's perfect. Anyways, that's mine.
But you know what I love about the Gloss Bomb too? It can completely change your lipstick in the best way. Especially when you're wearing like Fussy versus Fenty Glow. I don't have the white diamond one, the milk one, but those two I use frequently and I love it.
This one is just like, it just brightens your face. Fussy brightens your face. Fenty Glow kind of gives you like a nice warm sultry look, but this one right here, it's flirty and fun. I love the color. Okay. Jessica, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing MAC's Lady Danger. So it's like a, do they call it fire truck red? It's kind of orangey red.
It's really pretty.
It is really pretty. I know the word that you're looking for that you can't think of, and I can't think of it either.
Fiery red, burnt orange.
It's neither of those.
No? Okay.
But it's like a burnt orange color, but there's like a specific word that I know she's searching for. But all right.
Your color. I love it.
Maybe I'll figure it out.
They're both Fenty.
Ooh.
I know. You see what I did there? Yeah. So I went ahead and I've been eyeing this Undefeated Stunna Lip Paint from Robin Fenty. Rihanna, I love you so much. I don't know if you're ever going to see this, but I just want to express my sincere love for you because you changed my life.
Hire her on PR. She's been marketing to everyone for you.
I do that. Honestly, if I find a product I love, I will push it until people get sick of me. I'm sure some of you are like, okay, Shereen, we get it. Fenty's cool, whatever. No, you don't understand. Like, Fenty's amazing and it's life-changing. And that's what I feel about this Undefeated purple lip paint. Thank you. I also decided to put some on cuff in the center for like a little ombre feel. Because I wore the Undefeated yesterday. I'm like, I got to do something a little bit different for the show. A little bit. And that's what I decided to do. And again, I'm obsessed. Like, if I could never change my lip color, I would wear this forever.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous on you.
You're the best hype man in the world, and I love you. Thank you.
Of course. Anything. All right, you guys. I got to get running. I'm going to go hang out with my baby.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Give him a hug.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and like us and all that stuff. And shameless plug, I'm applying to be Sephora Squad Beauty Insider. So if you would love, if you feel like I've inspired you in any way to purchase any kind of makeup products, let them know. I'm going to send you guys a link. Okay, I'm going to post it in the description. So thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.